Anthony Harwig, Ty Bartell here with a Middle Ridge volleyball player profile. We're joined by Samantha Aulet, the setter, the leader of Middle Ridge. Samantha, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, Sam, let's just start with taking over that setter role from freshman to sophomore year. I mean, what do you attribute all your success to that, and why are you able to find such a great season, just under 700 assists?
I mean, my sister was the setter for since her freshman year, so I mean, I had big shoes to fill once I got to that setting position, and honestly, she pushes me to be the best I can, so I really owe it to her and all my coaches that I've had since I started setting to push me to the best of my ability and just to put the ball in a window so my hitters can attack.
You brought up your sister. I mean, how much of a benefit was it to be able to be on a team with her just a freshman year and to be able to watch her and how she does it, not just in a game, but in practices and in open gyms and the ways that she carried herself? How much did that help you come and do the same thing the next year?
Oh, it helped a tremendous amount. She is truly an idol or a role model to me. She always is focused on what she needs to do and doing her job and her role. And it was just so amazing to watch her and play with her and being like, oh, that's my sister on the court right there. Like she just did that. It was just like a moment I will never forget.
I mean, you guys too are having quite a season. You guys beat Western Reserve, you beat Jacksonville, two real top dogs in this conference year in and year out. You had a big game against Reserve, over 40 assists. What's the confidence like in this Mineral Ridge locker room right now, playing with these teams and beating them?
I mean, it's all just about the energy right before the game. Like everyone's getting in their right mind. Like we have to go out and we have to perform and do what we can and know your role and know what you're doing and just becoming coming together as a team and forgetting about the mistakes that you made and just wanting to beat them and wanting to play to the best of your. It's all about wanting what you can do on the court and just getting everyone focused and being hyped right before the game and warm ups and telling everyone it's okay to make a mistake, just perform right now really helps.
I want to talk a little bit more about that Western Reserve win because it was a team that kind of had your number the year before, and I think probably in the locker room and all the offseason, that Western Reserve game was circled, and you opened the season with them. How much do you think that's going to give you guys confidence going forward, getting that win against Western Reserve and kind of getting that monkey off your back right off the jump?
I mean, last year they beat us every single time they played them, and it always stuck with us. So coming right out the gate, our first game of the season, playing with them, and just being able to beat them, put a huge confidence boost and showed us all the work we put on the off season, just paid off. It finally paid off. We have our moment now, and now it's okay, next game, and then next game, and working to get better each and every game and every single point.
Looking at this season too, but that game, I should say, with Western Reserve, it was 3-1 in sets, but the sets really weren't close in any of those ones. Jackson Milton was a little bit different. You had a close set. You guys came on top 26-24. How important do you think it is for you guys to play those sets in the regular season? And do you as a player prefer playing in those close sets?
I mean, it was super important. Those are the games that we want. And Jackson Milton had such a scrappy team. That first set, barely anything hit the floor, and they had such a good defense. They played the best defense they probably could have played against us, and for us to push through and just keep playing every single point and putting pressure on them to make them play and the next ball was those are the games that we need to help us get better and help us stay focused. And I prefer games like that are close and intense and pushing us to play every single point and showing everyone how good we are and what we can do in these tight moments and I guess pressure moments.
In those pressure moments, what goes through your head? I mean, why do you stay calm, cool, and collected in those clutch situations? You need a dig, you need a good set, it's 24-24. But what kind of things go through your head in those kind of situations?
For me, I'm just okay, I just need a pass right here. We just need everyone to relax. We know how to play the game. We've been doing this since any of us can remember. Like, all we need is a good pass right here. And then my job, just put in the window and just be like, okay, like, I know what I need to do. I've done this a million times. Like, I got it. And just like kind of being like confident in yourself and like confident in your team, knowing that they know what to do. And then them like trusting you, knowing that you're going to put the ball in the window. And then our hitters just execute putting the ball away. So you just have to have confidence and trust with your team.
What's your game day routine like up until right before a game? Are you one that needs to be with your teammates, have a lot of talk time with them, or do you like to be by yourself and have some alone time?
I like to be by myself or like with a few players, not really like the whole team. Like right before, I like to like get in the zone a little bit, and me and a couple players will go and get Dunkin, and then we'll load the bus and like we'll get hype on the bus for the JV, or like at home we'll get hype in the locker room. And then once like that start clock starts for JV, I'm like earbuds in, no one talk to me, doing my hair, and then it's go time from there.
What do you guys get at Dunkin' before the game? Like, what's the go-to order to get you guys ready from Dunkin' Donuts?
It depends what day our game's on. Because if it's on a Sunday game or a Saturday game, we'll get food. But on a weekday game, we'll just get a drink, which is strawberry dragon fruit refresher with Splenda in it.
I was going to say, do you do the coffee thing? Do you buy into the whole pumpkin hype that goes on around this season, or are you not about it?
No, I don't like coffee, but some players do. I don't.
Not about it too. I don't know. I mean, I feel like coffee can be like one of those iffy things anyway if you take it right before a game.
Yeah.
While we're on pregame routines, we have to hear about the jumping jacks because it happens before the games. You guys get together as a team. You do the jumping jacks. I know it this year isn't the first year you guys have been doing it. It's a tradition. How did it come about, and what do you think it does for you guys?
Honestly, I think it started with the football team when they started doing, we call them Ramcaks. And then the volleyball team, when it was my freshman year playing with my sister, they were like, oh, we should do Ramjacks. So then we started doing Ramjacks. And then ever since then, everyone's like, we have to do Ramjacks before the game. So once like the score hits 25 of the JV game, we're out there going Ramjacks. And I guess it just like gets us hyped. Like, it's game time. Like, this is what we do before every single game. Like, you got to go now. Like, we're about to warm up.
Ramcaks are taken seriously too. Like, you guys have to be in sync. If you're not, people get yelled at. I've seen it. I mean, does it really give you guys some sense of, hypeness and readiness when you can do them and you guys are in sync?
I mean, yeah, because like in volleyball, you kind of like have to be in sync because like, oh, here's the pass, then here's the set, oh, here's the hit, and then back at it again with like the rest of the volley. So like going in with Ramjacks and like getting hype like right at the end, like clapping, like get in a little huddle, like have a pregame chat or pre-warm-up chat right before it, like puts you like in the right mindset that we're about to play a game and we better come out on top.
Those underclassmen seasons are always about learning, but now you're in that upperclassmen season where you're more into that teaching role now. So, and what you have learned in your underclassmen seasons, what is the biggest thing that you learned that you feel you can offer to these younger girls as a teachable moment?
Honestly, it's about confidence. Like, my coaches have always stressed to me, volleyball is a mental game, and you really have to let go. If you make a mistake, that point that you just messed up, or if you're still in the point that you mess up, like you made a mistake but your team recovered for you, you still have to move past that and be like, okay, what's my next role? And like just really being focused and forgetting about the mistakes you made, because it's all about the next opportunity you have.
Outside of your sister, who were some other upperclassmen that really took you under your wing and kind of showed you how to lead and you kind of lean on now that you're an upperclassman?
I would say Morgan Sigley was definitely one of them for me. Riley Ladd, she was the year before. She always was like had amazing energy and just loved to be around her. She always got you in the right mindset. I would say that would be about it.
As far as the volleyball journey, I want to go all the way back to the beginning of it. I'm sure you were drug along on plenty of volleyball meets and stuff as a kid too, but where did you find your love for the sport and your passion for the sport?
Well, my dad was like always in with like colleges, like as like an equipment manager or like an athletic director. So me and Danielle were really little, and like the volleyball team like scooped us under our wing, and then that's when Danielle got introduced to volleyball. So they would like play with us when we were little, and like we had no idea what we were doing because we were like 3 or 4. And then Danielle like really started to like it, so we got her into like clubs and stuff like that, and then I just like took after her, and I've been playing ever since I was like able to touch a ball, and my love grew from there, I guess.
We got to talk about Coach Lesko because he's a character. He's a loud coach. He's energetic. He gives you guys energy. He has a very tough warm up. It's not just go through the motions before the game. He'll smack the ball at you and he'll make you guys play solid defense. What's it like being coached by him, and what kind of things has he taught you, not just about volleyball, but about yourself as a person?
Coach Lesko is an amazing coach. Like he always has something to tell you, like whether it's good or bad, and you really have to listen to him because he knows the game inside and out. I take that for granted that he tells me what I'm doing every single point, because not all coaches do that, but he will tell you what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right every single point. And like him just like being like a tough coach, I guess, would be like getting us ready to like because he knows that like we have the potential to be as good as we are, and like he's pushing us to be the best we can. It's just like I'm so grateful that I have a coach like that.
Seeing how serious you guys take warm-ups, I got to ask what a practice kind of looks like under Coach Lesko, and how, I got to imagine it's a tough practice.
Yeah, I mean, we have a 3-hour practice in the summer, and then we do like stretching and band work, and then we go to like all different variations of pepper with working on ball control, and then we have ball work or wall work, that's like ball on a wall, like you working on your ball control. We have a lot of hitting lines. We do like play scenarios and like hope like break us up, and we just have to work with who we have. That's basically it.
I'm curious too about your excitement level and the team's excitement level now that you guys finally get to open up at home after winning against both Western Reserve, Jackson Milton. You got 3 home matchups in a row. It looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. How excited are you to get in front of Ram Faithful with this winning record now?
I'm so excited because we just need people to be there, and like if it's at home, more people will come. Like away games are like, oh, like I'm not going to go that far. But then it's at home. It's like you have no reason not to be here. And like we just bring in the energy every single game, having our fans come and support us, them bringing their energy every single game. It's gonna be so amazing.
Middle Ridge gets a crazy student section. There's a reason that golden megaphone sits on the wall up there for the student section. What's it like to be a part of that? You get to be a part of it during the boys basketball season, and then obviously you get to feel it during the volleyball season. What's it like? What's that student section kind of like?
Honestly, it's just like we're all here for one reason, and it's just to like represent our school and support our name and support our boys or girls, whoever's playing, and just to be there and like come together as one and just be there. And we all have each other's backs. Like we're all here to support you, and it's just like it's so like amazing to be a part of it. And like them coming supporting you, and then they'll tell you good game after, and they'll be like, oh, we're so excited for the next game. And it's like for them to be excited about the next game, it just makes you feel so much better that like, oh, we're playing so good, and like they want to come watch us play again. And like us doing the same thing to the other teams, it's just unforgettable.
The swagger you guys have played with in the first couple of matches kind of feels like chip on the shoulder mentality. Do you and the team feel like you guys maybe get overlooked in this conference with all the other big names that are in it from time to time?
I wouldn't say we get overlooked. I mean, I feel like everyone's like, oh, Ridge, they have a good program. But I wouldn't say we get overlooked. I feel like they're like, Ridge will make you work for your money. Like, we're going to bring it to you, and you better bring it back to us, is kind of how I feel our name gets thrown around.
To extend that, though, was the goal this offseason really to being put to win this conference now that you guys have had a taste of what it's like to be in the top 4, that top echelon competing for it? How much of an emphasis was put on coming away with this MVAC Scarlet Tier conference title?
The off season was just like, we're gonna win. Like, we want this just as bad as you do. Like, we're gonna come out on top. Like, we're putting the work in. Are you putting the work in? Like, we're coming out here. We're trying to be the top dog. The goal is to win the conference and maybe even go further into the district and then semifinals and all that stuff. But
So we know there are a lot of good players, not just in your conference, but on your schedule. Middle Ridge plays a really tough schedule. So I'm going to ask this. Who's one player that you play against that you would list, you like the way they play, you'd love to be one of their teammates? Who's one of the players that is an opponent that sticks out in your mind?
I would probably say Olivia Hughes.
That's a good one right there.
That's a good one as well too. I was gonna say too, she's solid as well, and I mean that's a great matchup. You guys still have a home matchup with them too, which is gonna be super exciting as well. I guess I want to know too. I mean, after the matchups too, what's the post game meal like? What's the go-to spot, the go-to hangout spot after a big win for the Rams?
Well, sometimes it depends how late it is. I'll usually go to Chick-fil-A, whatever, depends what time we finish. But if not, I'll go to Permane Brothers and get a sandwich there.
All right. Before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to shout out your support system and all the people that are there supporting you and the people that you wouldn't be where you are without.
Oh, my parents for sure. Like they've come to every single game. My sister, even when she's in college, she comes down and supports. My grandparents, they haven't missed a game. And the Rams coming out and supporting us all the time.
All right, Samantha, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We wish you the best of luck all season. We look forward to our continued coverage of Middle Ridge Volleyball, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.